PzH 2000, one of the best and fastest self-propelled howitzers in the world, will fight in Ukraine. Reuters reported that Germany plans to send PzH 2000 self-propelled howitzers to Ukraine. Berlin discussed this issue with the Dutch government. People who are interested in the Russian-Ukrainian war may know that the Panzerhaubitze 2000, or PzH 2000 for short, in the amount of 12 units, is already in the Ukrainian army. Now we're talking about a more impressive delivery. The Welt am Sonntag newspaper, citing sources in the Ukrainian ruling circles, wrote that the German company Krauss-Maffei Wegmann was ready to send 100 Panzerhaubitze 2000 self-propelled howitzers to Kyiv. In this video, we will try to understand whether these 100 howitzers, which are considered the best in their class, can significantly help Ukraine. And also, we will find out why they are considered the best. Besides that, let's clarify how Germany is going to supply 100 of PzH 2000. After all, everything is not so simple here. But first, let's talk about this beast, the Panzerhaubitze 2000. Some military analysts call the Russian-Ukrainian conflict an artillery war. It turned out that cannons matter more in this war than drones, aircraft, and javelins. Their long range, have huge destructive power, and per unit of their cost, have the highest amount of damage inflicted on the enemy. As they say, it's cheap and cheerful. In fact, self-propelled cannons are no longer so cheap. The same PzH 2000 costs about $8 million, but it's a lot more cheerful. And our hero, the Panzerhaubitze 2000, is indeed super cheerful. These weapons are not obsolete canned food from warehouses, which was sent into the Ukrainian army, but exactly the opposite. This is one of the most modern and advanced self-propelled howitzers in the world arsenal. It's produced since 1998. By the way, the number 2000 in the title indicates the new millennium. The development of the new PzH 2000 self-propelled howitzer, which was supposed to replace the obsolete American M109, began in 1987. The victory in the contract for the production of self-propelled howitzers went to Wegmann. The command of the Bundeswehr did not limit the actions of the main contractor, who tried to satisfy the military requirements put forward. Only 2 conditions were added to the specification requirements: to use a new L-52 barrel in the artillery system, and to place the engine in front of the chassis. It was these 2 conditions that led to the basic concept of the PzH 2000. On the one hand, the turret had to be located as far as possible to the rear of the vehicle in order to shorten the protrusion of the 27-foot gun barrel beyond the front. On the other hand, the installation of the engine in front of the hull and the shift of the turret to the stern left enough space for mounting an automatic loader, 60 rounds of ammunition, as well as crew accommodation. A high degree of protection for the crew and ammunition is provided by the steel armor of the turret and the hull of the vehicle. The thickness of the turret armor provides the crew with reliable protection against small arms, with a caliber of up to 14.5 millimeters, and large fragments of artillery and mortar shells. PzH 2000 is equipped with a system of protection against weapons of mass destruction, a ventilation system, and also has a fire warning and fire extinguishing system located in the engine compartment. The howitzer is equipped with a combined aiming, day and night vision, a laser rangefinder, and a dynamic armor system that protects the vehicle from the effects of cluster munitions. It covers the most critical places of self-propelled cannon from above. Also, to increase the protection of the PzH 2000 crew, the ammo storage that's located in the rear of the tower is separated from the crew compartment by a special durable partition. In the event of a detonation of the shells, the energy of the explosion will be directed back, which significantly increases the chances of crew survival in combat. The main armament of the PzH 2000 is a 155mm howitzer with a barrel length of 52 caliber, mounted in a circular rotation turret developed by Rheinmetall Industry. The channel of the gun is chrome-plated, which prolongs its operation and prevents the barrel wear. A special slotted muzzle brake of a new type is mounted at the end of the gun barrel, which reduces the intensity of the flash when the projectile leaves the gun barrel and increases the initial velocity of the projectile. The semi-automatic wedge breech is equipped with a magazine for 32 standard blasting caps, with an annular conveyor used for feed and removal. In the vertical plane, the gun barrel can be aimed in the range from -2.5 to +65 degrees. Additional armament of the PzH 2000 includes a 7.62mm MG3 machine gun and 8 grenade launchers designed to shoot smoke grenades, 4 from each side. The vehicle's ammunition load consists of 60 artillery shells, 48 full propellant charges, each consisting of 6 segments, as well as 2,000 machine gun rounds and 8 grenades for grenade launchers. The company Rheinmetall has created a system of multi-layer projectile propellant, which allows you to increase the rate of fire, prevents the formation of carbon deposits in the barrel and its rapid wear, increases the firing range, and eliminates the risk of fire. Depending on the type of projectile and firing range, the fire control system issues commands to the automatic loader, and it automatically completes the shot. Projectile plus up to 6 modular propellant segments. In addition to specially designed modular charges, conventional NATO ones can also be used, but in this case the rate of fire drops. The PzH 2000 fires 3 rounds in 9 seconds, or 10 rounds in 56 seconds, at a range of up to 19 kilometers. As part of the firing test of the howitzer, conducted in October 1997, its rate of fire was 12 shots in 59.74 seconds and 20 shots in 1 minute 47 seconds, an outstanding result. In this case, all stages of loading can be carried out in manual, semi-automatic, and automatic modes. The PzH 2000 computer fire control system allows its crew to quickly open fire, both independently and as part of interaction with a battery or divisional fire control command post. The battery of self-propelled cannons needs only 2 minutes to prepare for firing, from the traveling mode to the combat mode. Fire 8 to 12 shots per minute, return to the traveling mode, and then leave the firing position. During this time, the enemy, as part of the counter-battery fight, does not have time to strike at the battery location. Or rather, they can deliver a blow, only these howitzers will no longer be there. Using the entered or calculated data, the onboard computer of the machine can independently switch the weapon from one target to another. An orientation and guidance system is mounted on the howitzer cradle, which automatically determines the spatial position of the gun barrel and sets the point of origin, which is necessary for the process of semi-automatic and automatic targeting. In addition, the PzH 2000 self-propelled howitzer is equipped with an internal navigation system and a global positioning system, GPS. The PzH 2000 self-propelled chassis is front-wheel drive, manufactured by Max Systems Gesellschaft, GmbH. Many nodes are borrowed from the chassis of the Leopard 2 tank. With a full combat weight of a self-propelled howitzer, the specific power is 8.2 horsepower per ton of weight. By the way, the combat weight of the PzH 2000 is 55.3 tons. At the front of the body of the self-propelled gun is an 8-cylinder MTU 881 turbocharged diesel engine with a power of 1,000 horsepower, which accelerates the vehicle to a speed of 42 miles per hour on the highway and up to 28 miles per hour on rough terrain. The engine is coupled to a Rink HSWL 284 transmission and is equipped with a built-in self-diagnostic system and an electronic control system. With full 3 fuel tanks, the car can cover 260 miles on the highway without refueling. Various recent studies show that considering only such indicators as the firing range, rate of fire, and the size of the ammunition carried, the PzH 2000 has firepower that is comparable to 3 M109 self-propelled guns of the latest modifications. Moreover, the German artillery system has a much better chance of surviving on the battlefield due to its high mobility, better armor, and the ability to act as both a stationary firing point and as a mobile weapon system. The onboard system allows it to operate independently of external spotters and artillery observers. During the battle, the automatic guidance system performs the necessary corrections after each shot fired. The PzH 2000 crew consists of 5 people: driver, commander, gunner, and 2 loaders. At the same time, at least 24 people are required to deploy 3 American M109 self-propelled howitzers, the total firepower of which is equal to 1 German howitzer. But we're not interested in the old American M109, but in Russian similar systems that are fighting in Ukraine. The most modern Russian-designed self-propelled gun howitzer is the Kolizia SV 2S35. Its crew is 3 people, which is 2 less than that of the PzH 2000. The Coalition SV was put into production in 2015. It has the chassis of the T-90 tank, and the main weapon was a 152mm caliber. Loading is automatic. Data on the rate of fire is classified. Figures from 10 to 16 rounds per minute are reported. The declared firing range is up to 80 kilometers, which significantly exceeds the PzH 2000. But there is one significant circumstance. Russia has only 12 of them, and so far none of them has been seen in Ukraine. What has been noticed? The Russian army has about 800 units of the old MSTAS, a Soviet-designed howitzer based on the T-80 tank. It has a caliber of 152mm, crew of 4 to 5 people, and its maximum range is 24.7 kilometers. The Ukrainian military also has these howitzers, but a lot fewer. So how many of PzH 2000 howitzers will be delivered to Ukraine? With such large-scale hostilities, a dozen or 2 of these, albeit perfect cannons, will not play a big role. At the beginning of the video, we said that according to the Welt Sonntag newspaper, Germany is ready to send 100 of Panzerhaubitze 2000 self-propelled howitzers to Kyiv. 100 155mm self-propelled howitzers is already an impressive force. But there is one unclear issue in this information. It is known from open sources that Germany had 119 PzH 2000 units in service as of April 2022. In late April or early May, 7 of these 119 units were transferred to Ukraine. 5 more were supplied by the Netherlands out of their 56 units, of which 38 were in storage. So 12 PzH 2000 self-propelled howitzers are already fighting in Ukraine. But how is Krauss-Maffei Wegmann going to supply another 100 pieces? There are several options. These 100 howitzers will be provided by the German and Dutch armies, but this means that they will have less than half of these weapons from what they had. The second option is that some other countries will provide some of the howitzers. For example, Italy, which has 69 units, Lithuania, which has 18 units, or Greece, which has 24 PzH 2000. There is of course a third option. The Bundeswehr will allocate the entire 100, but then they will have only 12 of them left. But whatever option is implemented, Ukraine urgently needs these weapons. And it's not even about helping a European country to defend its independence, to fight off a huge Russian bear, although it's important. But most importantly, Ukraine is an arena where the West is asserting its right to world leadership. If Ukraine loses, the West will lose, and this defeat will then be followed by the inevitable decline of Western society and Western democracy. The history of mankind will already be written by other players. And who knows, maybe this 100 PzH 2000 will become the pebble that will tip the victory to the Western side. What do you think about this? Write about it in the comments to the video. And don't forget to like if you enjoyed it. If you don't want to miss new stories about modern weapons from our channel, subscribe to it. See you next time.